Okay, somebody asked me to do this, so I'm going to do a retro review for Scream, 1996. By review, you pretty much know the plot, right? So I'm just going to go over some of my observations then and now. All right, so Scream, what do we know? It's about somebody who calls up teenagers in Woodsboro and quizzes their horror movie knowledge. And if they don't get it right, the questions that they ask them, they kill them. Pretty much it. Beginning, what happens is Casey Becker, played by Drew Barrymore, in full lispy mode. Hello? Who is this? They've got 900 numbers for that. I don't think so. You love her. You love her in her bad wig. Why she's wearing a wig, I don't understand. She's wearing a pixie haircut or something. They couldn't have done Casey Becker that way. It was distracting, that wig. I was waiting for the wig to fall off. I was literally waiting at some point for the, ghost face to pop up behind her scream and run, and fucking go like this, and just, you see, the knit cap and the clips and shit. Oh, fuck, I lost my wig. Shit. Help! So there's a murder, spoiler, committed in the beginning. Casey Becker and her boyfriend are brutally butchered. And ironically, this happens almost a year to the day that our heroine, Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, her mom was brutally raped and murdered. And they keep saying brutally raped and murdered, as though there's a fun rape and murder. Well, she wasn't brutally raped and murdered, at least. No, she was raped and murdered, but it wasn't brutally. Let me tell you right there. This was kind of silly. It was a silly rape and murder. So she was brutally raped and murdered. And it's almost a year to the anniversary. And at that time, when she should be staying close with family and mourning and all that, her father decides to go out of town. Dad decides to leave out of town and leave Sidney alone to deal with what's sure to be a killer coming after her that has something to do with her mom dying. All right, so this movie stars Neve Campbell, Rose McGowan, before things went batshit crazy. Remember when she was kind of human? Remember before she started thinking she was Jesus Christ? And a eunuch on top of that, where she was just fun. She's a fun girl to watch. She couldn't act or anything like that, but it was just fun to watch her. You were strangely drawn to her for some reason. It was just like watching a candle. You're not particularly interested in a candle, but once in a while you just kind of like, that's a candle. The flame's pretty interesting. I was gonna stare. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm drawn to this for right now, but it makes me feel good. It's kind of like Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, and a bunch of other people, and David Arquette and Courtney Cox, still writing, Friends fame. She's that best year of Courtney Cox's life. Scream, Friends, she hit the fucking lottery. Fucking most popular show ever at that time. And fucking, she's in one of the most popular horror movies ever. Win, win, win. And she meets her future boyfriend, ex-husband, David Arquette on there. Best, just does she shit lottery tickets? Because give me one. I will gladly wait when she's having her next bowel movement and be like, okay, thank you for the ticket. I hope I actually win something on this one. So, Courtney Cox plays Gail Weathers, a woman who covered Sidney Prescott's mom murder. And by the way, the person that they think did it, that was convicted for it, Cotton Weary, played by a then unknown or semi-known Liev Schreiber, is, we've only see him getting into a cop car and a throwback video footage of him being arrested. But apparently Gail Weathers wrote a book basically doubting Sidney's story, whether she really saw him leaving her house, wherever the murder was committed. Was her house? I don't even remember anymore. But she identified him. And Gail Weathers didn't believe her and was a real bitch about it. Okay. So, sure enough, the next person the killer goes after is Sidney. He starts to call her up in the middle of the night and ask her a bunch of, do you like scary movies? Scary night, isn't it? And she thinks it's the geek from the video store, Randy or whatever. Randy is the guy who's, the stereotypical horror geek. He's never going to get laid. He knows way too much about horror movies and not enough about pussy. So he's just doomed. Like I said, you have Stu. You have Billy, who is Sidney's boyfriend in this movie. And he's the kind of, troubled, forlorn-looking dude with the hair. They always have the hair. It's like this. I'm just troubled, but you should understand me because I'm sexy. And one of the things that first kind of threw me out of this movie, like I said, this is a weird rambling review, just the way I do things, was at the time when I saw this movie, it was fresh, it was new, it was one of the best theater experiences I'd ever had. People jumped and screamed together, it was cool. But now looking at it, it's so fucking dated. It's not even funny because all the references they were using were from 1996. 20 plus years later, it's not going to work. And also, one of the first scenes where, Neve Campbell's in her bedroom and typing in her little frilly nightgown, looking all pretty and adorable. Her chipmunk cheeks. She's got walnuts in each cheek. You just want to squeeze her. And I mean hard until you bruise her. But no, I'm kidding. She's sitting there typing and the boyfriend sneaks in and through the window. That's never been done before. And then my favorite is The dialogue, it's so bad when you think about it now. He's like, I was across the street thinking, what happened to us? We were like a PG-13 rating on our way to a good old-fashioned NC-17, and now it's like we're just made for TV. If your boyfriend or anybody talks like that, they're crazy. They're fucking crazy. It's time. You could have been right there that the fucker's the killer. Right there, you'd have been like, who the fuck? She should have been. What the fuck are you on? Are you high? Billy, you've been huffing paint again? Seriously. So, Rose McGowan's Sydney's best friend and all that. And sure enough, the killer does come after Sydney, chases around the house a couple times. And, she got a good workout. That's all I can say about that. And, there's a murder committed at the high school. The principal is murdered, played by Fonzie, Henry Winkler. And was there a murder before that? I forget. No. All right. So the town is under siege. What did they decide to do? Have a curfew and cancel school and throw a party. And gee, where's the killer going to go next? Where could the killer possibly want to go who's targeting teenagers at this point? A church? No. An empty preschool just to steal juice boxes? No. Where would a killer go? A party where there's like massive teenagers and, a huge house. It's just, why not? So, the killer goes there, attacks a few people, kills a few people. One of the most memorable scenes is Rose McGowan, who back when she was normal, gosh, she was so much fun, her and her big tits. And she gets caught in the what do they call it, the cat or dog door of the garage. Okay, I'll go with it. And, Ghostface hits the switch, lifts her bony ass up and crushes her head. It's becoming a good, fun movie. It's for the family. And, a couple more murders. The camera guy gets knifed. Gail Weathers is there with Dewey, acting like she really likes David Arquette's character in this movie, but secretly she just wants to put a camera in the party because she thinks that something is amiss and that the killer who's killing all these people has something to do with Sidney Prescott, so why not make her life hell? Okay. And sure enough, the killer shows up at the party, like I said, starts killing a few people. There's a big, climactic scene where Neve Campbell, you think her boyfriend, at first we're thinking he did it. That guy's guilty, he's guilty as fuck. But then it looks like after they have sex, which by the way, it was a series of bad decisions here. I mean, it's the anniversary of your mom's death. A bunch of your friends have been killed, or Casey Becker, a couple other people in your town have been killed. You're in a house of strangers in a big party, but you want to go fuck in their parents' bed and you're horny enough to do so on the anniversary of your mom's death. All right, maybe, death gets her off. I hate to see what she does when her dad dies. And she's going to fucking have an orgy. I'm telling you right now. So then, she's having sex with her boyfriend in a party. Nasty bitch. If I was the parents, I'd blowtorch that house afterward. I'd kick my kid's ass, blowtorch the house. This is how it's going to go. So, while the people are downstairs. And right after she's getting dressed, the killer comes in and it looks like, key phrase, looks like, he kills her boyfriend Billy. So we're like, oh shit, it can't be him, right? Chases around the house some more. Eventually, we find out that the killer is not one, but two killers, which this was an original movie for that reason alone. Nobody at that time thought there was going to be two killers. We didn't put it together. It makes sense, because how are you going to call somebody and say, hey, what's your favorite scary movie? You ever see Friday the 13th? Yeah, okay. And by the way, I totally would have passed that. I mean, if Ghostface called me, it would be all over. But name the killer in Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th Part 1? Part 2? Which one are we talking about? The 1980 version with John Cunningham and Victor Miller? Okay, we're talking about that one? Yeah. Pamela Voorhees. Yeah. Now it was her. Played by Betsy Palmer. Right. Next. Part 2. Who was the heroine? Ginny. Yeah. Played by Amy Steele. Yeah. How long are we gonna do this? Like, seriously, I know you got my girlfriend tied up outside and all that shit, but I have places to go. Yeah. I'd be good. I'd be golden. So, we find out the killer is her boyfriend and his best friend, and they also killed her mother, and they've kidnapped the father. By the way, the father goes missing throughout the movie. He's supposed to make a flight and go bang some girls in Thailand or something like that. Never makes it. Turns out he's in the house. They've kidnapped him. They want to set him up as the killer. They have voice changers, hence the creepy guy in the phone. And so Neve Campbell pushes the TV on one of the guy's heads, and the other guy, I think, who shoots him? It's been a while. Gail Weathers shoots him, and then he gets up again, and I forgot who shot him in the head. I think Sydney shot him in the head. I'm not sure. And roll credits. And she walks out bloody, but, happy. My thoughts on the movie. Is it still scary? No, not really. It was scary in the theater because we didn't know what to expect. I didn't know Ghostface was going to pop out. You didn't know there was going to be these chase scenes. it was good. I'm sure the sound helped it. I love the way they mixed Halloween with a particular sequence when David Arquette is going down the hallway and you can hear the theme music playing to Halloween. It was a love letter to horror movies. Now, having said that, it's got its flaws, namely the hip speak. Nobody talks like that. No one talks like in movies and TV shows all the time. Be like, at one point, her and Rose McGowan and, Dave Dewey are walking down the street and then Rose McGowan's like, I wonder who'd play you in the movie of this. And then she's like, maybe, and David Arquette goes, maybe I see you as a Meg Ryan myself. She goes, thanks, Dewey, but with my luck, I'd get Tori Spelling. Who talks like that? What friends talk like that? Hey, Jay, who would play you in the movie of your life? I don't fucking know. Well, I see you as like a crackhead Charlie Sheen myself. Shut the fuck. Why are you talking like this? Who talks like this? Not the fuck. Right there. I mean, a few, you gotta get leeway because it's a movie, but they get a little ridiculous with it. With the, little, like, puns and all that shit. And again, the movie is 20 years old, so it stays dated. That's another problem with the movie. But it's got good pacing. It's actually was scary. My favorite is still the opening. Now, again, we have to ignore what is with Drew Barrymore and her choice of ensemble there. Like, okay, the sweater, get it, very 90s and all that, but the soccer mom pants. The soccer mom aqua pants she's wearing, not complimentary. A little bit of a camel toe, tiny bit, looks like, I'm not sure. Definitely highlights the butt. Okay, I'm not no problem with that, but just kind of a weird choice to wear. And again, why is she wearing the fucking wig? Like, I don't understand why she's wearing the wig in the movie. That really bothered me. For some reason, I don't understand. The boyfriend should have been wearing the wig. It would have made more sense to me. At least we don't have to see him. The only part we see is him like screaming for help with duct tape in his mouth when he gets gutted. By the way, they had to like trim that because some soccer mom somewhere would complain about it. There was going to be copycats or some shit. That was in the uncut version that I saw a whole 20 seconds more. But yeah, the movie was good. It's very, very dated, so I don't think it's held up as well as like a movie like Halloween, which is true. The original Halloween I'm talking about, by its aesthetics and a few of its clothing choices and some scenery is bound to be dated, but not as fast as this movie was dated because it was so that moment. But it was good. I mean, Neve Campbell, she's good at acting confused and doing one of these numbers. Just, looking wounded. She's really good at looking wounded. Rose McGowan did a good job at standing around and having big breasts. We loved her. David Arquette was funny. Courtney Cox, again, don't know how she made it as an actress. She doesn't have a lot of range. She doesn't. She has a range of like somebody with cerebral palsy. Not much. I'm just saying, not much. All the others were okay. I mean, the guy who played, I'm forgetting his name at this point, Matthew Lillard, who played Stu, great. Off the walls, batshit crazy. I'm convinced he did lines of coke before the scenes were shot. I'm convinced he was speedballing and doing all kinds of crazy shit. Black tar heroin, everything like that to get that jacked up for that role. The guy who played the boyfriend, good, good looking guy sitting there doing his lines with floppy hair. Gotta love him. But the direction by Wes Craven, awesome. Wes Craven, you can't go wrong, except Deadly Friend, one or two other misfires that he had. But overall, he was golden. So yeah, it was a good movie. What do I get it out of my little porno rating? I give it out of 5 big black dildos. I give this one 3 black dildos. Only taking 1 black dildo away because of the time period and how dated it was. So there. If you have something you want me to review, an old movie, a new movie, music, whatever, TV show, I had to have seen it. Let me know beforehand so I can look it up and shit like that. Let me know and put it down below. Or go to my community tabs page, put it in there. Why not? Go. Or put up a recipe. Put up like a recipe, like a fun holiday recipe. But it's got to have baby's blood in the ingredients and also the pubes of a blind Asian midget. That's the only ingredients I cook with. I'm sorry. Unhealthy that way.